Have you ever wondered why your own backyard suddenly feels like enemy territory under a neighbor's fake rulebook? What if the smiling HOA queen welded a prison gate across your private pool while quoting bylaws she invented on the spot? And how far would you go when the quiet guy everyone underestimated finally snaps back with nothing but patience, a clever dog, and cold hard truth? Picture this: Sunny Oaks, one of those picture-perfect American suburbs where every lawn is mowed to military specs and every mailbox matches the HOA color chart. On the surface, it's paradise. Kids on bikes, dads flipping burgers, moms sipping iced lattes. But underneath, a velvet dictatorship run by clipboard warriors who treat community standards like their personal holy grail. And right in the middle of it all sat my backyard pool, the one slice of heaven my wife Sarah and I had scrimped for after years of overtime and skipped vacations. Our kids called it the splash zone. Bubbles treated it like his personal throne, floating in his ducky vest with that dopey grin that could melt steel. 2 days earlier, everything had been blissfully normal. I was the guy who waved at everyone, kept my grass at the exact approved height, and minded my own business. Folks around here already whispered I was too passive, the quiet IT consultant who never rocked the boat. Little did they know I was watching. And Karen Voss happened. Freshly self-appointed vice president of the Sunny Oaks HOA after the old guy retired to Florida, she strutted into the role like she'd been coronated. No vote, no debate, just a mass email announcing her vision for safer, tighter-knit living. First came the lawn furniture inspections, then the 9 p.m. But that Saturday morning, that's when she went full dictator. I stepped onto the patio with my coffee, barefoot and still half asleep, only to freeze at the sight of sparks flying and metal screeching. There she was, Karen in her signature khakis and oversized visor, directing a welder like a general on D-Day. A half-finished iron gate now blocked the only entrance to my pool, complete with keypad, motion lights, and those laminated signs screaming, HOA approved access only. Captain Bubbles was mid-float on his raft, suddenly barking like the world was ending, water spraying everywhere as he tried to leap the growing barrier. "Karen," I said, voice low but steady, "what in the absolute chlorinated hell are you doing on my property?" She turned with that practiced, saccharine smile, the one that screamed, "I'm just a concerned citizen," while her eyes said, "Bow down." "Oh, Alex, sweetie. You'll thank me when liability suits start flying." Page 23 of the updated covenants. Communal visual benefits, you know. I blinked. "Three that you wrote yourself last week." She didn't even flinch. The old bylaws had gaps. Chaos leads to declining property values. We can't have that, can we? Her tone dripped fake politeness, the kind that makes you want to laugh and scream at the same time. Classic Karen, weaponizing for the children, while turning your private oasis into her personal fiefdom. I didn't explode. That's the thing about guys like me, we simmer. I called the city inspector that afternoon. He showed up, scratched his head at the monstrosity, and muttered, "Ma'am, you registered this as municipal safety infrastructure?" Karen had forged neighbor signatures, including one from a guy vacationing in Mexico for months. Blueprints claimed my pool was suddenly a shared amenity, needing restricted access for federal compliance. The inspector left shaking his head. "Yes," he said. Meanwhile, Karen was already emailing the neighborhood, thrilled to announce enhanced pool safety protocols. "Reserve your slots via me. First come, first served for approved residents." My kids stared at the locked gate like it was a cage. My daughter's birthday party. Canceled. My son scraped his knee trying to climb it. Even Captain Bubbles sat there, head tilted, whining at the beeping keypad like it had personally betrayed him. Sarah whispered that night, "She's turning us into the villains here. People are already side-eyeing us at the mailbox." I just nodded, petting Bubbles' head. Let her think that. By Monday, the neighborhood had split like a bad divorce. Half posted passive-aggressive signs about safety first. The other half, mostly the ones who actually used their backyards, started muttering about Karen's power trip. She paraded around in her little golf cart, clipboard glued to her hand, telling strangers they could apply for access codes, while my family watched from the kitchen window like prisoners. That's when the dark chuckle hit me. Kingdom, fine. But kingdoms fall when the jester has a plan. And my plan wore an orange life vest and answered to belly rubs. I started small in the garage that night. Training cones, treats, a Bluetooth camera, and that new waterproof vest that arrived overnight. Captain Bubbles strutted like he'd been knighted. "Listen up, buddy," I told him, tightening the straps. "You're about to become the most adorable HOA nightmare in Sunny Oaks history. Sit. Stay." Boop the hidden smart button I wired to the sprinkler system. Each success earned a treat and praise. Within hours, he nailed it. Anyone approaching that gate triggered happy barks and a surprise cold shower. I tested it twice. Then I strapped on the GoPro harness. Troll. Time to make her regret ever touching my pool. Karen, meanwhile, went full PR blitz. She hosted a Facebook Live titled Leadership in Action, Keeping Sunny Oaks Secure. There she stood in front of my gate, gesturing like a game show host. See how proactive we're being? Safety isn't optional. In the background, Captain Bubbles barked nonstop. She called it an unfortunate distraction from a poorly trained pet. Oh, the irony. Little did she know that dog was 3 steps ahead, already turning her power fantasy into comedy gold. The first leaks happened midweek. The community group, new security upgrade complete. Unauthorized cannonballs will be met with wagging resistance. It exploded. Comments flooded in. Sergeant Splashes reporting for duty. That dog has more common sense than the entire board. Karen replied under a burner account, screeching about pet aggression and digital harassment. Her friends rallied with likes, but the tide was turning. Half the street was laughing. Yes, she'd forged their names. I stayed silent in the comments, just watching. Simmering. Shots like trophies. Friday brought the first real clash. Karen showed up with a clueless young couple dragging flamingos and a cooler, punching in her precious code like she owned the Pentagon. As promised, exclusive access, she chirped. Captain Bubbles puffed up in his vest, barked 3 times, and slapped the sprinkler button with perfect paw precision. Water blasted. Karen shrieked. That animal is a menace. I watched from the upstairs window, grinning so wide my face hurt. Later, the edited GoPro footage hit the HOA complaints subreddit with captions, "When your dog guards the pool harder than Karen guards her ego." It went nuclear. Suddenly, Sunny Oaks wasn't just another boring suburb. It was meme central. But Karen? She doubled down harder than a bad gambler. Laminated signs appeared overnight. Pets must be leashed and silent. Ordinance 14B. I tore them down slowly, deliberately, while she filmed me on her phone. "This is destruction of official notices," she hissed. Captain Bubbles trotted over, barked once, and she actually yelped and backed up like he was Cujo. I nailed up my own wooden sign by the gate. Entry requires belly rubs and legal authorization. Paw prints painted on the edges. Neighbors who saw it cracked up. Board line, to report, weaponized humor. The board? Crickets. But I knew she was cracking. Her smile's tighter. The weekend escalated into full suburban warfare. Karen returned with backup, another board member and a couple of her cronies, whispering about installing a second keypad on the inside. "They can't stop progress," she muttered loud enough for my open window. Sarah overheard and squeezed my hand. "She's losing it." I just smiled, because while she schemed, I'd already hired David, the ex-HOA investigator who specialized in exposing these mini-tyrants. He'd uncovered Karen's rap sheet. 2 prior neighborhoods, same playbook, fake rules, forged docs, sudden power grabs followed by quiet settlements and moving trucks. Pattern recognized. We bundled everything: city violation reports, GoPro footage of her unauthorized tours, emails where she impersonated board authority. Captain Bubbles' cloud uploads caught every bark and splash in crystal clear 4K. David grinned when he saw the dog cam. "This is gold." Overreaching. She's terrified of losing her throne. The board finally stirred. Property values were dipping from the drama. Mr. A longtime member dropped by with apology letters. We had no idea she was forging signatures. Next meeting, we fixed this. I nodded politely. Bring popcorn. Karen, sensing the walls closing, pulled her ultimate stunt. Flyers on every porch announcing Community Pool Unity Day. Reclaim what's ours. Snacks, inflatables, her teenage nephew as lifeguard. Keypad access for registered attendees. It was her Hail Mary to manufacture community use and claim squatters' rights. My wife laughed bitterly. She's throwing a protest at our own pool. But I was ready. City injunction in hand. And Captain Bubbles upgraded with a new smart button linked to a loudspeaker playing a cheerful recording. Private property alert. This pool is not open to the public. Please step away. By 2 p.m. Karen arrived in full beach regalia glory, wagon loaded with cheap noodles and lemonade, face already flushed with desperate rage. A trickle of confused neighbors followed. She punched her code. Out the gate. Hello? Is someone inside sabotaging official HOA property? Captain Bubbles emerged like a furry superhero, sat tall, and booped the button. Sprinklers roared. The crowd erupted in laughter. This is injustice. Cut off mid-sentence when the sheriff's cruiser rolled up. Two deputies stepped out calm as Sunday morning. Karen rushed them, pointing wildly. He's weaponizing that dog against the community. One officer raised an eyebrow and pulled out the folder. Ma'am, we're here on the homeowner's complaint. Trespassing, vandalism, unauthorized modifications. Cities ruled this private property. You have zero jurisdiction. The silence was beautiful. Guests grabbed towels and scattered, evaporating faster than pool water in July. One neighbor filmed the whole meltdown. Another whispered, "This is going viral before dinner." Captain Bubbles barked twice, pure applause. By Monday, the emergency HOA meeting was standing room only. Projector ready. Stiffest blazer, pin reading community first, smile glued on like cracked porcelain. Her speech? Pure gold. Vision civic duty unfortunate misunderstandings. Then I stood. Slides rolled, forged signatures, her tour footage, the sprinkler hits, city orders. The room shifted. Murmurs. Then outright boos when her own quote played. Soon this will just be mine. Neighbors lined up to testify, mailbox yelling, bird feeder threats, the works. Each story landed like a punch. Bulls for board president. The applause nearly shook the rafters. The vote. Unanimous. Ordered to pay every dime for removal and legal fees. Personally. Out. Heels echoing like a defeated drumbeat. A week later the gate was gone. Cut. Hauled away. My fence restored. We threw the real party that weekend. Burgers, music, no flyers, no rules. Captain Bubbles floated proudly with his new Defender of the Deep vest and a mini lifeguard plaque. Even Mrs. HOA president showed up with a formal apology letter. Next board social here, she asked. I grinned. Not bringing the lemonade. The following Monday, Karen's house hit the market. No goodbye, no apology, just a cold for sale sign and moving trucks by month's end. Captain Bubbles watched from the fence, lifting one paw in a final sarcastic wave as her van disappeared. We stood there, Sarah's arm around me, kids splashing, sunset painting the water gold, and I felt it. Not just victory, but the quiet satisfaction of watching entitlement crumble under its own weight. We never stooped to her level. One very good boy, do the talking. In the end, HOA Karens don't fall because of rage. They fall because someone patient enough finally holds up a mirror to their absurdity. Next time your neighborhood queen tries to gate your peace, remember, stay quiet, stay smart, and maybe train a dog. Justice tastes sweetest poolside.